The war in Ukraine has descended into a new circle of hell as Russian drone operators now ignore surrender attempts, track fleeing soldiers, and systematically eliminate even those who drop their weapons and plead for their lives. In no escape, drones kill even those begging for mercy. Horrifying new footage confirms what Ukrainian soldiers have feared for weeks. Russian drones no longer distinguish between combatants and broken men trying to flee. A thermal video shows a Ukrainian soldier, unarmed, hands raised, screaming "Yizdeusia, Nestreliate, I surrender, don't shoot," before an FPV drone slams into his chest, detonating on impact. Another clip captures a group of 3 wounded soldiers limping toward their own lines, only for a Lancet to lock onto their heat signatures and reduce them to a red mist. A radio intercept reveals a Russian drone operator laughing as he tracks a Ukrainian crawling through mud, saying, "Let's see how far he gets," before executing him. "Let me see my family." Final words of drone VICTIMS. Intercepted Ukrainian field communications reveal the last desperate pleas of soldiers who know they are being hunted. "Mama, prosty menya. Mom, forgive me," a soldier sobbing into his radio before a drone strike cuts transmission. "Ya any kocha Umarat. I don't want to die," a young recruit's trembling voice, seconds before an explosion. "Tilki any via blikia. Just not in the face," a wounded man's plea before a grenade drops into his trench. They want US all dead. Ukrainian morale COLLAPSING survivors report. Some units now refuse to move during daylight, fearing drone detection. Cases of self-inflicted wounds have tripled as soldiers prefer hospital over drone terror. Last letters home are being written before every assault, knowing survival is unlikely. A Ukrainian lieutenant, speaking anonymously, admits, "We're not just losing men, we're losing their will to fight. When you know the enemy won't even let you surrender, what's left?" Russia's new doctrine, total drone annihilation. Military analysts confirm Moscow has shifted to a policy of zero battlefield compassion. No prisoner-taking in drone-monitored zones. Medics and evacuations intentionally targeted bodies left to rot as drone overwatch prevents recovery. A captured Russian drone manual explicitly states, "Any movement in the kill zone is to be eliminated. No exceptions." The world looks away as Ukraine bleeds. Despite the atrocities, Western aid delays leave Ukrainian drone defenses outgunned. 10-1 Russian factories now produce 30,000 plus FPV drones monthly. Ukraine's best drone operators are being hunted personally via facial recognition strikes. "We are being erased," a soldier's last MESSAGE1 final video, uploaded by a Ukrainian soldier minutes before his position was overrun, shows him staring into his phone. "Tell my wife I tried to come home. Tell the world what they're doing to us. We're not soldiers anymore. We're just targets." As the sun sets over the smoldering ruins of Ukrainian frontline positions, fresh drone footage reveals an even darker chapter in Russia's relentless mechanized slaughter. New tactics, new horrors, and a grim escalation in the drone arms race are reshaping the battlefield in real time. "They're hunting us like animals." Ukrainian soldiers describe drone terror. Intercepted radio transmissions and interviews with evacuated Ukrainian troops paint a harrowing picture of life under constant drone surveillance. "You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't even piss without worrying a drone will drop a grenade on your head," says Korsar, a Ukrainian drone operator now recovering from shrapnel wounds. "The Russians have too many. You shoot one down, 3 more come. They watch us. They wait. Then they kill." New footage supports these claims. 5. The Trap. Double-tap drone strikes target. Medics say particularly disturbing clip shows a Russian drone hovering over a group of Ukrainian soldiers attempting to evacuate a wounded comrade. Just as they load him onto a stretcher, the drone strikes, killing the medics instantly. Moments later, a second drone arrives, scanning the bodies before detonating among them to ensure no survivors. 6. Bunker busting. Thermite drones burn soldiers alive in underground shelters. Thermal imaging reveals a new Russian tactic. Modified FPV drones carrying thermite charges are now being used to penetrate bunkers and dugouts. One video shows white-hot incendiary material burning through a wooden trench cover before igniting the oxygen inside, turning the shelter into an oven. The thermal signature of at least 4 men flailing inside is visible before the screen cuts to static. 7. The suicide wave. Coordinated swarm attacks break through defenses. Ukrainian electronic warfare units report facing swarm tactics. dozens of cheap Russian drones attacking simultaneously to overwhelm jammers. One such attack last night near Avdiivka saw 23 FPV drones strike a single company position within minutes. The aftermath, filmed by a surviving Ukrainian soldier's phone, shows charred bodies fused to melted equipment at Russia's drone factories. Ramp up production. Satellite imagery confirms at least 3 new FPV drone workshops operating 24/7 in Russia's Rostov region. Meanwhile, Ukrainian intelligence reports that Iran has supplied 300-plus new Shahid 136 loitering munitions this month alone. North Korean shipments include components for Russian Lancet drones. China continues providing dual-use microelectronics despite sanctions. They're not just out-producing us, they're out-innovating us, admits a Ukrainian officer involved in drone procurement. Speaking on condition of anonymity. Ukraine's desperate countermeasures in response to the crisis. Armored capsules. Some units now sleep in makeshift steel coffins to survive nighttime drone grenade drops. Drone hunter teams. Soldiers armed with shotguns and net guns patrol trenches to physically intercept drones. False heat signatures. Decoy fires and heated mannequins are deployed to mislead thermal-guided munitions, yet soldiers report these measures are only buying minutes, not victory. The psychological toll. Frontline psychologists report 62% of combat veterans now show severe drone-related PTSD cases of electronic sound hallucinations. Constantly hearing phantom drone buzzes. At least 12 documented suicides linked to drone terror. Exhaustion. In the past month, we're creating a generation of soldiers who will wake up screaming at the sound of a mosquito, warns Dr. Lydia Kovalenko, a military psychiatrist. What's next? With Russia now fielding AI targeting drones and Ukraine scrambling to deploy mass-produced naval drones in the Black Sea, the drone arms race has become the war's decisive factor. As one exhausted Ukrainian artilleryman puts it, this isn't war anymore. It's a fucking video game where we're the NPCs. The battlefield has transformed into a mechanized slaughterhouse as Russian forces deploy their most terrifying drone capabilities, yet systems designed not just to kill, but to exterminate without hesitation, remorse, or even the dignity of a quick death. Point 1. The Butcher's algorithm, AI-driven mass executions. New drone footage reveals Russia's latest horror, fully autonomous kill drones programmed with facial recognition and wound analysis software. These machines don't just strike one another. Finisher drones, small FPV units that patrol no man's land, scanning for wounded Ukrainians. If a soldier moves, the drone accelerates into their skull,